So this will be the last, I guess, series of fight I want to talk about. It's not exactly one fight, but the Super 6 series with Andre Ward. I absolutely loved it. And I think that boxing definitely should go towards more tournaments. I feel like it creates a playoff type atmosphere for boxing, for non-boxing fans, where it's like, oh, X fighter is going to fight Y fighter, and the winner of that fight is going to fight the winner of this fight. And then, it creates kind of like a bracket kind of thing.
Yeah, it's fun. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, covering that Super 6 series, what did you think about it? And what do you think about tournaments in general?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There was one thing that turned out to be a flaw for the Super 6, and that was that it went on too long. Right. And it should have been probably single elimination or something like that. But it didn't seem fair to have it be single elimination. And I understand why the format was what it was. But we had injuries, we had a few things. It went on long. That was the only bad thing you can say about the Super 6, because it produced great fights. It created rivalries. It created a star in Andre Ward. And it was very competitive and compelling boxing, and had all kinds of other side stories, like the disqualification of Durrell when he fought Abraham and other things that happened. So I like the idea of tournaments. I think they're fantastic. I really do. Even 4-man, we used to have a lot of, when I was on ESPN, we used to have a bunch of tournaments. We had where it would be, just single elimination, but we'd have 8 fighters, and they'd be, we'd call it the ESPN welterweight tournament, right? And they would fight. It was great. And then on Showtime, we had mini tournaments where we'd have the bantamweight division, which is a great division, where our current partner Abner Mares fought. And I always tell Abner, the 2 fighters that during that era that fought the most amazing competition were Carl Froch and Abner Mares. If you look down their resume, they fought every single fight was against some kind of monster that was good, a really good fighter. And so I like the idea of tournaments. Super 6 was really interesting. There's a lot of drama to it. Plus, there's even the machinations to get certain fights to happen. And in the ring, there were excellent fights. Kessler versus Froch. Ward, when he upset Kessler in the first round of the tournament, that was surprising and amazing. So we had some interesting fights in that tournament, and we got to be introduced to Carl Froch's girlfriend, now his wife, sitting at ringside, who was a beautiful young lady, very vocal in her support of Carl Froch. In one of the fights, she was sitting right behind Steve Albert and Steve Farhood, and you could hear her more than you could hear Steve and Steve. And some of her language was pretty colorful. So we, luckily it was on cable.
Yeah, I remember her yelling.
She became a star from that.
Yeah. Currently, I feel like 140 is a division that could use a nice tournament.
Oh God! Wow, wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Well, I am a believer that the 140-pound division now in boxing is the deepest in the sport. It's amazing how many good fighters up and down the lines. But yeah, that would be a great division. That would be the division to do a tournament in, because if you did choose correctly, you'd have 8 people, let's say, that any one of those 8 people might beat the other 8.
No, and in Showtime, I guess PBC, they have enough 140s to do it.
I think they probably do. So maybe, and I know some. Yeah, they should. They should have enough available to them, and it'd be nice if you could lure somebody else there. But they should have enough that you can make a great tournament. Listen, we just saw what I thought was one of the fight of the years.
I agree.
With Akhmedov and Sims.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kenneth Sims gave a career best performance, and Akhmedov did what he does. He's really a good fighter. and one of the most hard luck fighters in the sport. But those two guys, a perfect example, they would be if they were in that tournament. You give them a chance against anybody.
I totally agree.